Yeah. Yeah. I got that new drip. Shooter pop out with the pool stick. Effing and Draco extended 30 and it's sent on my hip. 35,000 for the brand new rolling wrist. Bust out my wrist, I flex like WrestleMania. I just might go take that jet to Australia. Young Draco know I'm international. Pull up a server paint, know that I'm taxing them. Hop in Bugatti, push it to the maximum.
All right, episode 99? 99 of the A-League podcast, A-League show. I'm Rashad Milligan. I'm here with my good friend, Jeremy Johnson. Jeremy, how you doing?
Pretty good. It's just the two of us. We can make it if we try. Just the two of us.
And you know what that means, more money. So, King couldn't make it. You know what I'm saying? So, we're not going to get too much into it. That pollen, man, is whooping me, dude.
Oh, yeah. It's getting me too.
That pollen is whooping me.
And then it just hits us out of nowhere. I know we had it a couple weeks ago where we had the pollen, and it kind of went away.
Yeah, and it wasn't even that bad. It was like just
bad.
A little bad. Like I was just like,
yeah,
a little bit.
You can tell that it was there, but you couldn't really. It wasn't as bad as it's been the last 2 or 3 days.
Yeah, my eyes are starting to swell up and everything like that. But man, those Hawks last night, triple-double, first triple-double of Trae Young's career. John Collins gave him that last rebound. Because he, it was just a normal thing. Like, he just went up and got it, and then Trae was right there next to him. And then when he saw Trae, he like, oh, I lost the ball, and Trae got it, and Trae got the rebound. So, triple-double for Trae Young, and John Collins had 33 points, 20 rebounds. I was just thinking about it, like, last night. Imagine you're on the other end of a fast break, 3-1. Trae Young's bringing the ball up the middle, and you got Zion on one wing and John Collins on the other wing. That's insane. But Cam Reddish, I've been trying to keep up with him because it seems like he's gonna be the guy the Hawks pick if they don't get number one. So I've been trying to keep up with him a little bit, but I haven't been able to do so because they play the same time the Hawks play.
Yeah.
Yeah. Last night though, I heard he was he had a good half of basketball last night. So
and then he disappeared.
Oh, okay.
That's what worries me about Cam, and
Mm-hmm.
He has a skill set, he has the talent, and it's a confidence thing. Like he'll come out, when he comes out aggressive and believes that he's the best player on the floor, he is.
Mm-hmm.
and then I don't know what happens. Like last night, I don't remember a single memorable thing he did in the second half.
Like that was the case against Clemson. I watched the full Clemson game earlier this season, and Cam he like struggled in the first half, and then he was just kind of like off. He took himself out the game for the rest of the game. Like he was making bad fouls. Yep. He was pouting on his way back to the bench and all that, and that was one thing that concerned me. But I heard everybody else talking about him as the season went on, and I was like, well, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I didn't see things right because everybody else loves Cam. So. But yeah, I mean, you're still on par, kind of what I was thinking. And but what about RJ? Because if the Hawks do get number 2, number 3, and say Zion goes 1 and Ja goes 2, and then you have RJ number 3. RJ was the number 1 guy before the season started. RJ's been the guy since whatever year of high school. So when you think about that, do you think about we'll take the guy who had the most hype before this year started, or do you go Cam?
If I'm at 3, are we talking about the third pick?
At 3, yeah. If you're at 3,
if the Hawks are at 3, I mean you have to go with RJ just because he's a more NBA ready player. I mean I don't even necessarily know if you take him because of that fact. I mean I don't know about RJ. I mean I'm more confused about him today than I was when he came into college at the beginning of the year. I felt like I knew more about him. Like I don't know. I mean, where Cam Reddish lacks in attitude and toughness and willingness to have the ball in his hands late in the game, that's where RJ comes in.
Yeah.
But what RJ seems to kind of lack in skill set, like as far as how smooth this game is, his shooting ability and the ability to, Cam has him beat in that area. So I mean,
Cam's a little more calm,
yeah,
cooler.
His game just is more pleasing to the eye. RJ's game is kind of clunky.
He's kind of like a Josh Smith.
Yeah. It's a DeRozan, Josh Smith type.
Yeah.
But you look at Cam, his game is so smooth. It's like a Tracy McGrady or Kevin Durant. Like it's so pretty to watch.
Brandon Roy.
Yeah. Brandon Roy is a really good comparison, actually. But I don't know about RJ. I'm not gonna put him in a situation to where he's expected to be he's not a generational talent. There's an RJ Barrett in every draft. I mean, he could be a really good number 2. He could be a really good 1A. I mean, a 1B for somebody. I just never see him being that guy that you look up and he's an MVP candidate every year. I don't see that for him.
So who do you think is a better fit for the Hawks? Is it Cam or is it RJ?
I would say Cam, just because he's already been able to play without the ball all year.
Yeah. That's the same thing I was thinking. He'll be able to fit within the offense, and Trey could still be Trey, the star,
and everybody else still
John
be
can still eat. And
I mean, I can easily see Cam averaging when he gets to his prime. I can easily see him being a guy that scores 20, 25 points a game.
I'm thinking like 21.
Yeah, I mean, and there's nothing wrong with that. I mean,
because Trey's gonna average like 25 himself,
and then you got John that may get 19. That's a
John,
nice little three. I'm not.
He's about to say threesome. That's a nice little threesome, man.
Pause. Nah, I mean that would be a nice start. And then you still got that second pick out there, and if we somehow end up with a guy like
or if you end up with the second pick this year.
Yeah.
Dallas has been historically bad since the All-Star break.
Yeah, they gonna. I won't be surprised if they sit everybody the last couple weeks.
Are you gonna sit Porzingis for the rest of the year? They said Porzingis was out until the end of March.
Yeah, why would he?
If I was Dallas, I would bring him back
just to get him on the court.
Yeah, just so him and Doncic could get together. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it's only 6 games in April.
Yeah, I mean, and that's almost a situation where if you're looking to be a team that makes the playoffs and trying to get some, make a little bit of a run next year. They definitely need that court time. I don't want to go into the offseason without knowing what Porzingis is going to look like.
Yeah.
As far as – because that could set you up to decide how you're going to play in your offseason.
Right.
If Porzingis looks like he's going to be hampered by the injury a little bit, maybe you make another move and you go and get someone else.
Man.
Yeah, you go out and get somebody that can kind of be that equally as effective. Like you go and get
if Porzingis looks like Boogie Cousins. I thought Boogie Cousins just looked decent. Like people been kind of like
not being himself.
People, yeah. I mean, yeah, you're right.
I mean, he's kind of just had to fit into what the Golden State Warriors are doing. But I mean, we expected that, but then he hasn't even looked like Boogie from last year.
Yeah,
he's not as aggressive as he was.
Explosive.
Yeah, I mean, but that's expected.
Yeah, ACL injury, but. Last thing, but before we move on to the NFL, so now with Trey and the way he's been playing, the one thing that they always brought up about Luka was Luka is the youngest to have this many triple doubles. Luka has this triple double. All right, Trey's got a triple double and a 49-point game. How close is the rookie race now?
To be honest, it's almost a dead heat. I mean, like it's hard. It would be almost insanity for someone to just pretend like Trey's not right there at this point. Like it would be a little delusional. Right. And this is coming from somebody who was ready to give Luka the MVP, not the MVP, but the Rookie of the Year
and the MVP
after the first or second month of the year.
Luka better be Magic Johnson and Michael Jackson.
I mean. Luka has played well the entire season, and I think he deserves credit for that. But over this last 20, 25 games, Trey has probably played as well as the top half of the point guards in the NBA. Mm-hmm. I mean, like his numbers, you stack those numbers up against some of these other point guards. Like, and I'm not just talking about young rookie point. I'm talking about like
period.
And it's stacked and it's really impressive.
Think about all the point guards in the league. I mean, Chris Paul's kind of been off this year.
Yeah. Russell Westbrook's been terrible this year.
He's
been terrible.
He's
still averaging a triple double.
You can argue like Westbrook's always kind of been that way.
True.
I mean, just very inefficient and stuff like that. Who else? Kyle Lowry.
Kyle Lowry's way down.
Kyrie Irving.
Kyrie Irving's been in and out of the lineup.
Yeah.
Who?
He made a nice move last night. I saw that.
He really did.
That was a nice
that was nasty.
Yeah.
They
said LeBron playing around 315.
Yeah. What do you mean?
Like, he's playing around 315 this season.
What does that mean?
Like 315 pounds.
Oh, no. No.
That's what they're saying.
No, LeBron looks just like he did last year, man. That's not true.
He's looking a little heavier.
I mean, he may be heavier, but I don't think he like.
But he was already what, 285?
That was his rookie year. He's lost weight since then. That would be he probably was about 265.
Oh yeah, he did. He lost weight last year.
Yeah,
because he was a little slimmer. I remember that.
Yeah, he's gained that weight back. Mm-hmm. He's probably about 285 right now, but. I don't know about 300 pounds.
That's a big
gain. Yeah, that's Shaq weight.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Shaq was 300.
Shaq and Yao Ming.
Yao Ming
was like 315.
Yeah,
man,
that's crazy.
Yeah,
I mean, what were we saying about
point guards? Steph Curry.
I mean, Steph Curry been doing his thing.
Steph is the best in the league. Top 5 point guard of all time.
Point guards, yeah.
Top 5 of all time.
What other point guards out there?
we name. All right, let's go through the teams. Ben Simmons.
Kyrie. We named Kyrie.
Who's the point guard for the Pacers? They're number 3 in the East.
Dang, who is their point guard?
I don't know who their point guard. Tyreek Evans.
Is Tyreek Evans their point guard?
Yeah.
Oh God, that's why they.
Tyreek Evans. Tyreek Evans is hooping too.
He only averaging 9.9 this year. That's
okay. Yeah.
That's terrible.
Yeah, I don't know if he's starting, but
who is their point? Is it Joseph?
He definitely plays a lot for him.
Is it Corey Joseph?
I don't know if he's a starter.
I mean, let's double check that.
Yeah, let's keep starting. All right, so let me think of other teams. We went through one Milwaukee. Who's Milwaukee's point guard? Bledsoe. Yeah, he's better than Bledsoe. Number 2, Toronto, Kyle Lowry. We already brought him up. Number 3, Indiana, Tyreek Evans. Number 4,
D'Lo in it.
Oh yeah, D'Lo's been
playing great.
D'Lo's better than Trae Young. All right.
Darren Collison is.
Darren Collison. I wanted to say Darren Collison, but that felt like forever ago when he was their point guard.
He's averaging 11 and 6.
Darren Collison is still in the league. I mean, still on the Pacers. That's crazy.
Reggie Jackson.
They have the Holiday too, don't they? On Indiana.
Oh yeah, Aaron Holiday.
Yeah.
They
still have the other. They got the third Holiday.
Yeah, he doesn't play much though.
Yeah, and then he turned up against the Hawks. So unfortunately, of course.
No, that's not unfortunate. That's good.
Yeah. Of course, he turned up on the Hawks.
Jamal Murray from
Jamal Murray, Cole. He's better than Trae Young.
Derrick Rose
with
the Timberwolves.
I don't know if I say he's having a better season than Trae Young.
His stats are better.
Yeah. His impact isn't.
But he's been playing off the ball this year too.
Yeah. That 50-point game was crazy, and then he's averaging around like 20 again. Yeah, Lillard's better.
Fox, Darian Fox.
Fox is better. Okay, so I would say he's in the top 15.
Yeah, he's in the top 15.
The top half.
And then
he's not the top 10 or top 5.
Even some of those performances that he's had in the second half of the year have been better than what I've seen some of those guys we named. I've seen that, like, those performances are better.
Yeah.
So with all that being said, I mean, it would be almost impossible to keep him out of the rookie of the year race at this point. I mean, and then I don't want to discredit Luka because he's had a great season and he's been consistently good all year. I mean,
he's been consistently good scoring. I want to point that out too. Like, Trae got good scoring recently, but his defense is still,
iffy.
Yeah. I forgot who it was at that shot last night. Oh, it's D'Lo. It was D'Lo. He took a shot, missed it. Next got the rebound, kicked it back out to him at the top of the key, and he's wide open. And Trae comes at the last second and he touches his jersey as he shoots it, and of course it's nothing but net. And I'm just like, type of defense was that? What type of effort? You know what I'm saying? It doesn't take much to do this, to put your hand up.
Yeah.
It doesn't take much. You know what I'm saying? But we're not asking you to crouch, get down, hands up,
and shut the man down.
Defense, communicate. Just do this. Contest a shot.
Yeah.
And it's the simple things like that, the small things when you let go 3 points, 2 points, and then you lose by 2.
Yeah,
those points add up. And it's the reason why people get so much on Lakers LeBron for when he gives up on plays, because LeBron's just like, oh, but get it back on offense. And then
they don't.
And now you miss the playoffs.
Yeah.
So moving on, Antonio Brown, one of the best receivers in the world, is going to the Oakland Raiders. I really wish he would have went to Buffalo Bills. That would have been way funnier.
Yeah.
The Raiders are too cool of a franchise. Like, they're a cool even though they're not good.
They're not good.
They got the cool jerseys. Everybody likes them from the days they were in LA and stuff. So, I mean,
could be going to Vegas soon.
First thoughts, yeah. He's going to Vegas soon. Wait, hold on. This was the last year for Oakland?
It's supposed to be, and they don't really have I haven't heard anything about them having a home yet. Yeah. Last thing I heard was that they were trying to work out a deal to where they could play in AT&T Park in San Francisco. And I hadn't heard anything else since then.
And Lynch's deal ran out, didn't it? Because he only signed to play those last couple years in Oakland.
I think he's a free agent. I'm not sure about that though. But I mean,
he's done. Like when he retired, and he should have just stayed retired.
He should have stayed retired. He was done.
Or come back to play with Oakland for a year, and then he did the little dance, the first game or whatever on the big screen, and the dress was shaking. Everybody loved it. Do that, have a nice little moment, and then retire again.
Yeah, he was not nowhere near the same player.
Like, shout out to Trent Richardson. That his jerseys made me think of Trent Richardson on Birmingham. Shout out to the AAF. Aaron Murray starting now.
Oh man,
I don't know if the Legends play today. I don't know.
Yeah, they play. I think they play at 4.
Okay, yeah.
They got Memphis.
And Aaron Murray starting. So
against his roommate Zach Mettenberger.
Oh, snap! Georgia. Yeah, the Party Boys.
Well, they didn't stay together long.
We were talking about in the office. My editor's a Cowboys fan, and he was making fun of somebody. Oh yeah. I don't know if I want to get into that on the podcast. All right, so there was this situation where a football player got arrested, and so might have made a joke about it, and then I was like, I know you ain't talking. You a Cowboys fan. Oh, y'all average. They got Jeremy. They go 8-8 every year, bro. They get 8 wins. 8 players get arrested every season.
Oh my God, bro. That's funny.
The Dallas Cowboys. You already know, man. And then the boy Gregory. Who was it?
Randy Gregory.
Yeah, that man got so high he went on Instagram Live and retired on Instagram Live. And it's like. Crazy. He was making good points. I'm not going to lie. He was making good points, but it was just like, what are you going to do now? Like, do you have any plan of income? Like, what are you going to do now? Do you guys think when they think about these things, when they say these things, when they do these things, like.
Not when you're high.
He got so high. The weed. So high that he quit the NFL and he gave him a chance, no chance of coming back because he smoked a joint on camera.
That doesn't constitute a failed drug test, so he won't be suspended for that.
Yeah, but but we have Antonio Brown to the Raiders. He's not going to Buffalo. First thoughts. When you heard he was going to Buffalo, what was your initial reaction?
I just bust out laughing.
That was hilarious.
I just thought it was funny. I was like, the Steelers were mad.
The Steelers should have did it, man. They should have pulled through whatever. Buffalo, whatever the differences was, they should have worked it out and got that man to Buffalo, because that would have been hilarious to be like, oh, you want to complain? You want to say, I don't need this. I don't need football. We're going to take you to Buffalo.
Yeah.
That would have been great.
Okay. I have a little bit of a rant for Antonio Brown. Well, not necessarily Antonio Brown, because the interviews I've seen of him doing, I've seen him do has kind of, I don't want to say open my eyes a little bit, but I also am not going to pile on him like a bunch of the media has done. Mm-hmm. Like, he's not a diva. He's not a selfish person. This is not the same situation as the one that T.O. and Ocho Cinco and all these receivers that were perceived as divas. This is not the same situation. This is something completely different. Terrell Owens, when he was in Philadelphia, he literally ripped that locker room apart. That's a known fact. Antonio Brown did not rip the Steelers locker room in half. You have a quarterback by the name of Ben Roethlisberger who thinks it's cool to get on radio stations and call out grown men when he's the one costing them games. That is not cool. If you're a leader in the locker room, you talk to that man face to face and you settle it in the locker room. The media never needs to know about this stuff. That's childish. So when Antonio Brown says, "Hey, I got a problem with my teammate throwing me under the bus in front of the media," I'm gonna speak about it. And Antonio Brown has gained enough respect from me and should be from the media and from his coaching staff to be able to speak his mind whenever he wants, because he's speaking about things that are true. No one said a thing to Big Ben when he got in there and threw all his receivers under the bus. Nobody said a thing. So now Antonio Brown comes out and says, well, this guy thinks he's the owner, and the way he walk around and he's disrespecting us on the media. Like, okay, I'm with Antonio Brown there. First point. Second point, when Antonio Brown says, I don't really need football, and I'm a millionaire, and that I feel part of what he's saying. I'm personally, I was a football player growing up, and I would have given anything to play in the NFL. I wish he would have been more grateful for, getting the opportunity that he has gotten. But
that wasn't I feel like you're getting there. You were about to say it, but that wasn't a true thing of just, oh, I'm not grateful to be here.
Yeah, no, that was the next thing. I was gonna say that I think that he's appreciative that he's in the position that he's in to be able to control his life now. Mm-hmm. Like he doesn't need the game to survive moving forward.
It was just a negotiation sin.
Yeah, I mean, and I definitely feel like the NBA players have kind of started this trend where they're taking control of their career, and they can get out and say, hey, I want to be traded, and it happened. And it happened for Antonio Brown. I think that's a great thing for the NFL, just because the league has kind of gotten this reputation of being a team first mentality, which it should be. I mean, all sports should be, but when you're as big as Antonio Brown, and some of the things that came out in Pittsburgh are hilarious, that somebody would have to be put through these things. And the last thing I noticed about this story was that, how everyone just kind of, the narrative was changed for Antonio Brown before he really even had a chance to defend himself. So like the situation where he went from, when he was the last game of the season and Mike Tomlin told him to go home. And from what I heard from Antonio Brown, it was just, he went to coach and he said, hey coach, I'm a little banged up. And, he didn't say, hey, I don't want to play. It was, well, go home. You don't have to be here. Injured players go home. I mean, that was a situation where Antonio Brown was just making him aware that he was not 100%.
Shout out to the shop, man, because the shop gives you moments like that where you get to see it. I know I was talking about, winging it pot or whatever with the Hawks, and, hearing it directly from the players' mouths when the players are interviewing the players, you hear different things, that you don't hear from when a player is telling a reporter and then a reporter reports it all the time. But that doesn't mean that there shouldn't be reporters as well, because you have a situation like players only, which a lot of people have criticized this year, when you have nothing but just players telling old stories about when they played.
Yeah. I mean, but in that point you just made, that hearing it from Antonio Brown has definitely changed my perception of this story, because it easily could have been, in my mind, I could have been like, well, this guy's a distraction. No. I mean, Antonio Brown has been the furthest thing from a distraction. I mean, I watch the Steelers play a lot. I mean, I probably watch them 6 or 7 times a year.
They're on TV every week.
They're on TV every week.
They're on CBS every week.
And every time I turn the TV on, Antonio Brown's out there busting his butt. Like that guy, they throw him the ball 15, 16 times a Sunday, and he never complains. He's never injured. He just goes out and puts up numbers. Every Sunday he's out there balling. So I'm not going to say he's a distraction, because he goes out there, he puts his work in, he goes home. I mean, he definitely has the right to be outspoken, and he has the right to speak on things in the locker room that bother him. And, I hear Ryan Clark on TV, pounding on him and piling on him, and I'm just like, okay, well, you can say that, and Ryan Clark, and I definitely see some of the things that he is saying, but at the same time, like, what great football player isn't confident? Like you ask these guys to be, alpha males, and you want them to be tough, but you don't want them to speak. That's not fair, because all that stuff comes with one another. So I don't know. I'm definitely glad Antonio Brown, his story is kind of had a good conclusion to where he's happy, and the Steelers are going to be happy moving forward, because I think the marriage was just burned out.
He had the one moment before this season where he was like painted as a diva was just the fact that he went on Instagram Live right after a win.
Yeah, now he shouldn't have done that.
And then Ryan Clark was like, "That's not the Steeler way. In the Steeler way in the Pittsburgh, it's a honor when you put on the black and the gold." And that, like you said, like that's what he was kind of saying this year. But I don't think what Shannon Sharp was doing, Shannon Sharp is doing his job. I think people don't really understand journalism all the way.
Yeah.
So it's like anything remotely negative or not positive, they just go to hater.
Yeah.
Everybody who doesn't say anything nice about you all the time isn't a hater.
Yeah. I mean, and if you look at Shannon Sharp's football career, Shannon Sharp was this type of player himself. So
he has the right to say it.
He has the right to say it, and he's also been through a lot of this stuff. Mm-hmm. Shannon Sharp was probably one of the more entertaining personalities to ever come through football.
Yeah.
I mean, and for Antonio Brown to attack him, now that was where my issue was drawn, because I know Shannon not to be that type of person he's describing him to be, because, I mean, I've watched Shannon defend LeBron for how many years on that show? And
they've been around for like 2 years.
Yeah, I mean,
at least 2.
And Shannon always sticks up for LeBron. So I mean, you have to allow journalists to call a spade in some situations. So, I mean, I'm not calling Antonio Brown a diva. I'm not calling him selfish, because I don't find those things to be true. I know Antonio Brown likes to win. I mean, you never heard an issue out of him when they were winning. I mean, but you never heard Big Ben. You never get to hear how Big Ben treats those people in the locker room.
You also don't get to hear about Big Ben's,
Yeah, we don't hear
about it.
We don't hear a lot of stuff about Big Ben.
What do you think of when you first think of Ezekiel Elliott? First thing you might think of is domestic violence.
Yeah, and that's
what's first thing when you hear Sean Oakman's name, rapist.
Yep.
First thing when you hear who's another Ray Rice,
yeah,
woman beater. First thing when you think of who else? Kareem Hunt,
yeah,
woman beater.
And
so why when Big Ben is in the situation he was in, he got away with it, but we're not keeping the same energy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you with that, because those guys
and like you said, going back to the field, on the field, why isn't Big Ben being known as the diva?
Yeah.
Why isn't Big Ben being known as a bad quarterback, a run first mentality, but he can't run?
Yeah.
Why isn't Big Ben not being known as a dual threat, even back in his heyday?
Yeah.
Why is it Big Ben being maybe you should go to, you ever thought of tight end? You're a pretty big fella.
I mean, Big Ben was a great passer in college. I'm not going to say all that, but there's a lot of fishy stuff going on in that organization around Big Ben, because he's been protected and put on this pedestal. And I definitely, if I'm a player in Pittsburgh's locker room, I have a hard time wanting to be there myself. Like I like I said, I love the game of football, and it's a team sport, and it's all of that. All of that is very true, except when you get to this situation, because you got one man that's been elevated above the rest of the other 52 men.
Why isn't Big Ben being killed like Eli Manning's being killed? That even goes beyond race.
Yeah,
because we was just talking about race at first, but now we got
it's him being protected by that organization.
Big Ben fell off the same time Eli fell off. I mean, Eli, you can make the case Eli's never been that good, blah blah blah, but they got the same credentials.
Yeah, I mean,
2 rings.
And they did not win the Super Bowl. The first Super Bowl, they did not win because of Big Ben.
Yeah.
They won in spite of Big Ben in the first Super Bowl. The second Super Bowl, he played really well.
Yeah, right.
But if Santonio Holmes does not make that catch, they lose.
Right.
They lost against the
Fitzgerald
Packers.
should have got that one, man.
Yeah, that was
bad
their
for
time.
Larry.
I do feel bad for Larry because he ain't been nowhere close since. Well, he made it to the NFC Championship game,
and now he's about to retire.
Yeah,
that's it for him.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think it's good for the NFL, and I think Antonio Brown is. I don't think he's in the wrong for not wanting to be there. And Le'Veon Bell's
oh yeah, he's next.
Like he's next. I mean, and Le'Veon Bell is good enough to get paid.
Yeah,
like pay him.
And you know, Antonio Brown just got paid too.
Yeah.
So you know, part of the deal, he got some more money and everything. I think like 30 million. 30 more million.
Yeah.
So and you know, Von McClure, the beat reporter for the Falcons, he tagged Julio Jones in the tweet.
Oh God.
So here we go again with this. So Julio needs more money. Grady needs more money. Man, the Falcons are a mess, man. And then now we're transitioning into our next topic, which is just the NFL offseason in general. The Falcons are a mess. They are about to break. The franchise, it can either keep it together and like you know the meme with the smiley face but the angry face with the crying behind it. That's the Falcons right now. They can either look like that next year if they just pay Grady what he wants and then somehow finesses a way to keep the key players and core together, or it all falls apart and then they look stupid for giving so-and-so this amount of money. Definitely Freeman, which I said from the jump was a bad move, right? And then so-and-so this amount of money, so-and-so this amount of money. If you give Grady Jarrett Aaron Donald money because of his Super Bowl performance in 2016, you are stupid.
I mean,
if you
and then the thing that really gets me upset with I love my Falcons. I'm not even mad at the Falcons organization for this, but I'm mad at the fans because they'll get on Twitter and talk about let's go out and sign Justin Houston. Let's go and trade for Odell Beckham. We need to be trying to get Antonio Brown. With what money? What money do they have? What money? Where's the money going to come from?
We did not need that.
But you want Julio. You want Julio to get paid more. You want to keep Grady Jarrett and you want Matt Ryan to stay. You want to keep Keanu Neal. You want to keep DeAndre. That costs money.
Yeah, it costs money, and the price goes up when those guys play well.
I mean, that's why you have to capitalize when they're young and cheap and you're in the Super Bowl. That's why you needed to win that Super Bowl.
And that's why you needed to run the ball.
The window is closed. I'm sorry.
But like I said, I didn't think it was a bad idea not to run the ball in that situation. Like right when I watched the game live, it made sense because they weren't getting anything on the ground. They kept losing yardage and the offensive line was like falling apart.
Yeah.
Like one dude, I forgot who it was. Who was it? Jake Matthews? Jake Matthews was playing on like 9%. He was done, man. And then the dude from Valdosta, Schrader, I think Schrader was getting torn up or something like that. Like
that's another one that needs to go.
Those guys were all like just trashed at that point of the game in the fourth quarter. They were done. Freeman wasn't getting anything.
But no one wants to remember that. Everybody just remembers the play.
Yeah, exactly. So I didn't blame him in the moment, and then like after the game, everybody's like, "Why didn't we run the ball? Why didn't we run the ball?" And I was like, "Yeah, why didn't we run the ball?
Why couldn't our defense not let Tom Brady throw for 500 yards? That's what I want to know."
Man, the thing that got me always, still to this day, which no one else talks about, because he's a defensive end, but in overtime, when Vic Beasley had that ball, I was like, dog, if he could have just brought it down. They're like, he's not a wide receiver. I'm like, yeah, but
that's what he played in high school. Actually, yeah, he is a wide receiver.
The ball was right there in his hands.
he played wide receiver in high school.
In the end zone, the ball is there in his hands.
Is he worth $12 million to you?
No. Vic Beasley's another one. What I said, Grady Jarrett isn't worth what Grady Jarrett wants because of the 2016 Super Bowl. Vic Beasley isn't worth what Vic Beasley wants because he's not the 2016 rookie.
Yeah, I mean, I like Grady Jarrett a lot, and I really think if I look down the NFL and look down the list of defensive tackles, he's probably in the top 5 or top 6. He's up there. But Aaron Donald money. Aaron Donald's not even a defense. Like I can't even put him in the category anymore. Aaron Donald was probably the most valuable football player in the National Football League last year.
Yeah.
Period.
LA was good, man, on defense. That's like I just think about their defense all the time. Like that was a good defense.
Yeah, that's gonna go down as one of the best defenses to not win the Super Bowl.
Do nothing.
I you know how I feel about him. I've always felt he was a glorified game manager.
Joker couldn't throw 2 yards in the Super Bowl.
Nope, that's his game.
He couldn't complete nothing.
Nope, he's inaccurate. He has a noodle arm, and he's not very good. He's small. He's skinny. And when it's time to pay him, the Rams are going to have a humongous decision to make because if I'm the Rams GM, I'm keeping my cap flexibility and I'm keeping my ability to be able to go out and add pieces.
But they look at it as this was his second year, wasn't it, or is it third?
This was his third year.
This was yeah. He was a rookie when Vic was because Vic had that monster game in LA his rookie year.
Yeah, and he sat for most of that rookie year under Jeff Fisher.
Yeah.
He played like the last 4 games and he started last year.
And he played horrible those last 4 years.
Yeah.
Those last 4 games.
Yeah, he was pretty terrible.
Yeah. I mean, they look at it like he made the Super Bowl his third year. And I hope you don't get caught up in that.
Because Joe Flacco did the same thing. What happened to him?
This
is the same. It's the same thing. Like it's no different. Joe Flacco and Jared Goff are the same player to me. Except Joe Flacco has a strong arm and Jared Goff does not. That's the only thing. So, I mean, I don't really care about the Rams. I'm kind of glad they lost. For some reason, I hate the Rams. I don't know. I don't know why. I hate the Rams.
I wanted the Rams to win just because, like New England is tired of New England, and dang sure didn't want to see New Orleans in Atlanta for a Super Bowl. So, I mean, that was it. But what else we got? What else we got on the docket in this offseason?
For the Falcons?
I mean, for anybody.
For anybody? I'm interested to see what
Arizona?
I'm interested to see what Arizona does with the number 1 pick because I think they're what do you call it? I think they're bluffing everyone.
Yeah, I mean, I saw another report that was like they're not shopping Josh Rosen.
Yeah, and
so I was like,
why would you? I don't get why people would take Kyler Murray number 1 overall. Like how did
Baker Mayfield?
How did he just jump over Haskins?
Because of Baker Mayfield.
I get it, but Baker Mayfield was also a little taller and a little bigger, and he played for longer, and he was a better passer than there is no comparison in my head.
But Baker is still like a smaller guy for a quarterback.
But even Baker,
but isn't Baker like 6 foot?
He's 6'1". I mean, he's close. I mean, they're close in size, but 5'10" and 6'1" is a humongous difference to me.
Yeah.
I mean,
as a quarterback,
and then the weight. 205 pounds.
Baker's a big dude.
Yeah, he's about 215, 220.
Yeah.
And he can move around. I mean, Murray can move around too.
Kyler's skinny.
He's skinny and he's slight of build, and he moves around to run. Baker moves around to throw the ball down the field. So that's why I think he'll survive longer. I mean, I don't even see him being like a superstar. I mean, I didn't.
I woke up feeling dangerous. Shout out to Baker Mayfield, man.
The most quotable quarterback ever.
And then he did the walk it like I talk it. I hated that video. And people kept reposting, gassing this man up, especially Jamel Hill. I was disappointed in Jamel Hill. I was like, come on, Jamel, you seen better dancing than that. But yeah, Baker Mayfield, man, he's gonna be a good. I mean, he's already a good quarterback. Like he's a good quarterback. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see this year after teams have had a full season to scout him. And, you know, like you said, like you were probably about to say, like, it'd be interesting to see how they adjust him. And, you know, when they know what to expect and they know his tendencies and they have a full season of game film to you know, see how he works and operates. It'll be interesting to see how he bounces back from that and how he responds to those coverages and, you know, schemes and looks that he's going to see next season.
I still think Josh Allen's the best quarterback from last year's class. That's just me, though.
I was a huge Josh Rosen fan coming out of college just because I really liked him in college. And he had all that hype coming into college, and I thought he lived up to it.
Yeah, he definitely. I mean, only thing that you could knock Josh Rosen on was that they didn't win, which wasn't his fault.
Yeah.
And that he was injured.
Yeah.
Which also was not his fault.
Yeah. That dude is crazy, man. I remember that one game his last year at UCLA. I forgot. I think
Texas A&M.
Yeah. What was that? The one where it was like 56 or something like that.
That was like the first or second game of the year, I think.
Yeah.
And he brought him back. That was a great game.
Special. He's special, man. But yeah. So I wouldn't give up on Josh Rosen just yet.
No. You can't really give up on a quarterback until year 4 or 5.
Right. Yeah, I mean, if you were high enough to draft him, that means the team wasn't good from the jump. So stop blaming the quarterbacks for everything.
Stop blaming the quarterbacks.
What else we have? Who else we have? I saw a mock draft that had the Falcons taking another wide receiver and
DK Metcalf.
The Falcons.
Okay.
The Falcons are definitely not taking another receiver. But I thought that last year, and they drafted another receiver.
I mean, but even that made sense because Calvin he filled a role in that slot. Like they needed a slot.
The Taylor Gabriel spot.
Yeah.
Slot.
So that made sense. Mm-hmm. But drafting DK Metcalf, first of all, where does he play? Like just so you're gonna draft your 4th receiver.
Where does Hardy play? You'll take Hardy's spot.
I think Hardy's a free agent.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He'll take Hardy's
he didn't play that much. I mean, so you gonna draft a guy that's gonna play 25, 30 snaps a game. You're gonna draft him in the first round. Okay, and then you're gonna blame Matt Ryan for being on his back the entire game, and then you're gonna blame Dan Quinn because there's no pass rush.
Yeah.
And then you're gonna blame Desmond Trufant.
Vic Beasley.
You're gonna blame Desmond Trufant because he can't cover the entire field by himself.
Vic Beasley isn't doing enough. Vic Beasley, what is wrong with you?
And I've actually, but the crazy thing is, I've seen fans on board. DK Metcalf's a freak. If we get him next to Julio and Calvin Ridley, we gonna be no. Shut up. That's not how football works.
You literally gotta be the dumbest person in the world if you think the Falcons need a wide receiver. Going back to the Odell Beckham Jr., Antonio Brown.
It's ridiculous.
All
man.
that. What you need to be worried about is keeping Sanu. You need to worry about keeping the current group intact. That's what you need to worry about.
And them lines. Both of the offensive and defensive lines are terrible.
Defensive line. Every other position, literally, other than wide receiver.
If they went out and drafted a linebacker in the first round, I'd be like, okay, that makes sense.
They can use everybody.
We can use everybody else except wide receiver.
You can even draft a quarterback to back up Matt Ryan. I mean, not in the first round.
Not in the first round, but second
this year.
I mean, if they drafted a quarterback this year, I'd be like, okay, that's the successor, because that means they're done with Matt Ryan.
Would you take a deal for Josh Rosen
to replace Matt Ryan?
No. Like would you take a deal for Josh Rosen right now? Yeah, to be Aaron Rodgers.
No. Because I think it would cost too much. I think the Cardinals kind of want a first or a second for him, and they're not getting that.
But I mean, but what if the Cardinals wanted the players? A few of the players where the Falcons were on the fence about, they weren't able to keep because they wanted more money. Like a couple of those offensive guys.
No, just because that if this does not work out this year, I think it's time to hit reset. And I've said,
but wouldn't you be ahead with reset if you already had Josh Rosen?
Because all of the quarterbacks in the next year's class are better than Josh Rosen. So, because that gives me something to think about. If I have a chance to grab a Trevor Lawrence, once in a generation type talent, or Tua, who I think Tua's going to end up being a 3rd or 4th round pick.
Yeah,
but
he's another Kyler.
He's another Kyler Murray type guy. And
he's bigger though.
He's bigger and more stocky, but I think he hasn't really been exposed to having to. I think Clemson and Georgia have exposed what he will look like in the NFL.
Yeah, the way he throws is weird.
It's weird. It really is weird. He has
kind of reminds me of Tebow.
It does. I mean, so I think that will his draft stock. I don't put him in that category with Trevor Lawrence, Jacob Eason. What's the other kid's name?
Eason's got a cannon.
Yeah, Eason.
Fromm's probably gonna be in.
Even Jake Fromm, I would take ahead
because Fromm's probably staying 4 years.
Yeah, I think he would too.
Like he hasn't been that good to just leave.
I don't know, man. I think a lot of what Jake Fromm does well is stuff that people don't necessarily see, because he gets to the
stat sheet.
Yeah, it's not on because he's a leader. People love playing with him, and he gets to the line of scrimmage, and he's the coach. So that's that. I don't personally. I don't know how tall he is. I don't think he may be 6'1" or 6'2".
Oh yeah, he's definitely over 6 foot though.
Yeah, he's over 6.
Yeah, I mean, he's not a midget.
No, he's a big kid. He's a big, strong, stocky, sturdy kid. So that will be okay. The height and all that. I don't know about his arm strength. There's a lot of questions with Jake Fromm, but I can easily see him being an Alex Smith where he can win a bunch of games and not put up great stats but win.
Speaking of Alex Smith, Andrew Bogut's back on the Golden State Warriors.
Utah connect.
That man.
This man literally sat out the entire year and he gonna go get another ring.
Yeah. He's like, oh, is it time?
Time to get that ring. Hey, I'm in. Hey, I play.
He's playing in Australia this year, down under. He's playing down under this year at home.
How do you feel if you're the guy that got kicked off the team?
No, what if you're Damian Lee?
Oh,
Damian Lee, he got signed, and everybody's like, oh, he just signed because, his brother-in-law, blah, blah, blah. And then you go out on a two-way, right, and you earn your way to the roster. And, because you've been playing well all season. Damian Lee's, he's a decent player.
I was hoping the Hawks kept him.
Yeah. He was a decent player last year. And this year. So
Hey, bump out. Hey, bump out.
You work hard, and you get rid of those people saying that you're only on the team because of who your brother-in-law is, right? And then it's time for the playoff roster, and you don't make the playoff roster, and Andrew Bogut does. You know how salty I'd be?
I would be very upset.
I'd be like,
I'd be turning over chairs in the locker room. They come in, all the chairs upside down.
Because I don't think you get a ring if you weren't on the playoff roster.
I don't know.
No. I think you do, because the dude that didn't make it last year.
How does Joe Budden say it?
I'm trying to think what his name is. That he's been in the league for a minute. It's not Udrith, but it's along the lines of a guy named Udrith.
Casper?
Yeah. Omar
Casper.
Casper. I think he got a ring last year. He got a ring this year, and he wasn't on the playoff roster.
Yeah,
he just missed the playoff roster for Quinn Cook.
Okay.
Yeah.
So maybe yeah.
So Damian Lee will still get a ring, but he won't be at the game.
Yeah.
I mean, he'll be at the game because his sister. I mean, Steph Curry's sister.
Yeah.
He was at the games last year as a fan.
I don't think people realize how good of a player Damian Lee was in college.
Yeah.
If the thing with Louisville hadn't never happened and he didn't get suspended, he probably would have been a first-round pick.
He was good at Drexel too.
Yeah.
But before he got hurt.
Yeah.
So, Damian Lee's always been a serviceable player.
So it's not like this is some scrub. He's 6'7". He has all the measurables. He's good.
Well, nah, I seen him he was playing well last year with the Hawks. I was like, dang, Damian Lee good. And then Philly came in town with Ben Simmons, and Ben Simmons made that joke about him. Oh, y'all got plenty of time. And he came into Atlanta, and he just all over that man. No, who dunked on Damian Lee? Was it Ben Simmons? It was either Ben Simmons or who was it on Philly?
It happens. It happens to the best of them. Though.
But he didn't. But he bodied him too, just backing him down. Damian Lee. Whoa. I'm like, dang, Damian Lee was looking good the last couple of weeks. And he come against a man who's his size and all that at the position.
A man.
And he just bodied him. I was like, dang, man.
What are your impressions of Ben Simmons, man?
Ben Simmons? I like Ben Simmons. I think, I don't think he is I think a lot of people try to make him better than he actually is. So when they see him play, they get disappointed, and they're like, oh, Ben Simmons is a letdown. Ben Simmons. And I'm like, well, I think you set your expectations a little too high for him. I think that's what it was.
Because people are setting him up to be like LeBron.
Yeah,
he never has had the skill of LeBron.
No, but he has the what you call of LeBron, the same game.
Yeah.
They have the same game.
They have the same game.
Especially when they came in, because remember when they came in, Markelle Fultz. He was the one who dunked on Damian Lee.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. I did not expect you to say Markelle Fultz.
Here's a picture.
Oh, jeez. Oh, my goodness.
Boomed on that, man. I got to see this now.
Oh, my goodness.
Hold on.
He's turned backwards and everything. Turn the volume up. Let the listeners hear this. I know it sounds nasty. He yelled at him. Oh, no.
All right, I got to see it again. Oh, no.
I'm kind of stunned right now.
That's bad.
That's bad. That's a bad look, Dame.
Yeah, Dame.
Come on, man.
Dame.
You shouldn't even jump with him.
The Damester.
Dame-ski.
But yeah, man. I forgot what we were even talking about.
We were talking about Ben Simmons and the high expectations.
Yeah, man. I think he's a good defender. Like I think
Yep.
he's as good as a defender as he gets credit for. Like much like Lonzo Ball.
Yeah.
And then so I think it's just his jump shot, which everybody always talks about, and everything like that. And then just the fact that you shouldn't expect him to be just an offensive, a scoring assassin every night. Like that's definitely what you shouldn't expect. And I think that's what people expect. They expect Ben Simmons to get at least 17, 20 points a game.
That just shows you.
And Joel Embiid to get another 20 and whatever. Joel's going to get his 20.
Yeah.
Ben Simmons isn't.
Yeah.
Like that isn't a given.
I think that kind of shows you how much people pay to media because they hear the media, hyping Ben Simmons and talking about Ben Simmons, but it doesn't seem like they really understand why people in the media are excited about Ben Simmons.
Ben Simmons has a great all-around game.
He's a great all-around game. He can pass. He plays great defense. He's a 6'10" point guard. Mm-hmm. We haven't seen that since Magic, maybe.
Yeah, Magic.
I mean, like he's a pure point guard, but he's 6'10". That's why.
Wait, hold on. What am I talking about? Magic. Is he the last one?
That was like 7 feet.
Durant's like 7 foot, but he's not a point guard.
He's not a point guard.
But
I mean, some people consider LeBron a point guard, but
I
really don't because he spent most of the time. I haven't seen LeBron just guard
Joe
primarily.
Johnson.
Yeah, he's not a point guard.
They put Joe at point when he first got to the Hawks, and then they quickly moved him to the two.
That wasn't a point.
Yeah,
that wasn't a point guard. That was you do everything guard.
He said, "We need you, Joe.
We need you." That was his position.
You were the 4th best player on the best team. We need you.
Do everything you can to win. I need you to pass the ball to yourself. I need you to throw the alley-oop to Josh.
Yeah, he was the 4th best.
Yeah,
because Sean Marion,
Amari,
and Nash.
Yeah,
and then Quentin Richardson was the 5th best player.
I mean, they had a great team.
Yeah, that was a squad.
But like that'd be like signing Draymond Green and expecting
Draymond Green is here.
I need you to go out and score 25 a night. I need you to pass the ball to yourself.
Can you dig it?
That would not happen. So yeah, I mean that's typical Atlanta though.
Right. My time has ran out. We didn't get to talk about Captain Marvel. But would you like to say one thing about Captain Marvel before we sign off?
Yeah. I really love the movie. It was definitely one of my favorites. The Marvels knocked it out the park the last. I didn't like Ant-Man, the second one. It was a good movie, but I didn't like it. Both of the last two Avengers movies have been good. Mm-hmm. Civil War was good. Black Panther is probably one of the greatest movies I've seen in a long time. Not just superhero.
A lot of people said that was hype. Like. I thought it was good.
I thought it was good.
I was like, dang, am I a basic person because I thought it was a good movie?
I mean, it was more than a. I mean, okay, if we just strip away all the representation and what it means to black people,
but even the writing in it was like
the writing was really good.
There was a lot of black stuff in the writing. Like it was a lot of black power.
If you strip all that away, okay, I can see where it's just a basic superhero movie.
Yeah,
but that's part of great writing and that's part of a great script is having all those things represented because you're able to tell a story, but then you're also able to, show, highlight issues that are going on in America or around the world. It's not just America where this stuff exists. So that also was a part of it. So that was great. Captain Marvel did something kind of similar for me just because it was a woman.
Yeah.
It was a woman and it was all about her. It wasn't about women empowerment. It was about a powerful woman. Like this,
say that again. Say that one more time for the listeners.
This woman is like she got to act as a woman. She was in control of her character, and then she proved by the end of the movie she proved that no one could control her.
Also, notice how they dropped it in
Women's History Month. It was Women's
International
Women's Day.
International Women's Day.
So that was cool.
And then they dropped Black Panther in February.
Yeah. So I mean,
shout out to Marvel for that. Yo, that's a bar.
Marvel doing their thing, man. But that movie was really great just because of what I just said, and then the action was cool. I mean, it wasn't too much action, but then they got to a certain point in the movie and they let you see her full arsenal of powers. And that was so cool at the end. Like that was great. And I really see why, they kind of want her to be the face of Marvel moving forward because it definitely fits. Once you see the movie, it'll click. Like I was kind of skeptical. Like, I don't see how who is Captain Marvel and why is she such a big? I see why. I mean, she's the perfect replacement for Captain America, and whoever else passes away in the upcoming Avengers movie. She can fill any role that they need on the team. So I'm excited about the Avengers even more excited after seeing this movie.
All right, well, I'm sorry, Marvel fans, that we didn't get to get into a full-on Marvel discussion tonight. But we thank you anymore. My bad. Hey, episode 99, A-League Podcast. Next one, we're going to have Lil Jon, Lil Yachty. Jay-Z's going to stop by for a few words. Kanye West, T.I., all of them are going to be here to celebrate the Big 100. Shout out to GLC. Shout out to everybody else listening. Shout out to Eric. Hey, stay warm up there. Shout out to David Norwood doing his thing in the church. And shout out to Dimitri. He getting married. Shout out to Akeem. He's in Canada. And shout out to everybody else, man. Everybody go around and say your words. All right, I guess I'll say mine first. It's only two of us.
Everybody go around.
Everybody go around. All right, RashadMilling.com. You can follow me on Twitter at Pizza.
At Pizza. Jeremy Johnson, Clark underscore. Where was I? Clark underscore.
Clark foreskin.
Kent underscore 75. Check it out.
Yeah, you.
Y'all must thought that I was gone whisper the whole time.
Mistress, diamonds they wear like go fishing. Y'all don't want friends, I want Audis. I don't want cars, I want Rarries. I don't want friends.